Amina Farah, karibu sana.
Asante.
This is Anza. I'm so humbled to have you on set. But of course, first things first. Who is Amina Farah?
I would say Amina is a passionate, optimistic woman, a woman who loves new experiences, traveling, spending time with friends and family. I love exercising.
You do.
Yeah, lifting weights, doing HIIT, hot yoga, any type of yoga. In fact, I always say I recognize myself when I'm active. And yeah, I love dogs. I'm an aunt to many. I think quality time and with family, friends, and working on relationships matters.
Okay.
Because I've found that helps in happiness and even in longevity, they say. Yes.
Before we even talk about family and friends, traveling and all, being a lawyer,
Yes.
and a hospitality entrepreneur, and of course, a wellness advocate. How has the journey been?
It's been exciting. It's been I kind of say my life has had so far 3 iterations. I worked in finance, financial services, and I was a lawyer as well. And then when I came home, I ventured into hospitality, and I owned 3 restaurants at one point. And now my 3rd iteration, which is a gift, I think, is I'm doing women's health and wellness, and specifically for women over 40, focused around the transition of perimenopause and menopause, which a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think those 3 distinct areas, has given me kind of great opportunities, great learnings, and it's been an exciting journey. Also with its challenges, because that's what life is. But yeah, that's where I am today.
And that's nice. So now on this show, we try to talk to people who have been there, but most importantly, people who want to start.
Yeah.
Because there's someone out there who is just, don't know what to do as far as picking a path is concerned. You talked of different societies and of course different experiences. How does that affect a person, someone's entrepreneurial journey?
I think different experiences, like, are you referring to my own experiences in terms of my journey?
Yes. How did that influence in the way
my worldview?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for me, I came from a cross-cultural background. I was raised in a cross-cultural family. Kenyan, Somali, Russian, Ukrainian. So from when I was young, I was already kind of in the environment where I was looking at 2 different cultures in my family. And then I went abroad after I grew up in Kenya. I am Kenyan. I studied here until high school, and then I went to the US. And I think being there, which, by the way, initially was a culture shock, opened me up to other ways of living and doing, more opportunities. And I think being open to that, whether it's cross-cultural experiences, traveling, but not everybody has to travel. You can travel in your mind, right? You can read books, you can watch movies, you can, there are other ways that you can connect. And I think nowadays with media, social media, there are many ways that people can see different experiences, different cultures. I think that makes you richer in what you can offer. It makes you richer in what you understand. When you go to people, you can connect better because you've had various experiences. So I would say to people out there, young people who are thinking is, embrace new experiences, embrace talking to people from different areas, different cultures, because it'll only make you better. It'll only give you insights and maybe a different outlook from where you are. And I have to say Kenya, we're very lucky because I kind of think of Nairobi and Kenya as very international. I even say cosmopolitan, because we have a lot of people coming through from different parts of the world, having a lot of embassies, being kind of the strategic place in East Africa. People come to work around East Africa through Kenya. So there are opportunities for people to interact and expand their worldview. Yes.
You mentioned culture. How does that, how strong is it, in determining how people succeed beyond the borders of their country?
Cultural?
Yes.
Identity. I mean, I think we shouldn't get too caught up in our culture and reject others. I think there's things we can learn from different cultures, and it's just appreciating different people, different cultures, different languages. I have to say that I was the first class of 844, right, in this country. So we were the inaugural class. Okay. And I remember us having so many subjects. And I think I understood now in retrospect, because back then we all complained, like, why do we have to do agriculture? And I even heard it on the radio the other day, somebody saying, did you take a lesson in class that you think is useless today? I don't think anything is useless. I remember some of my lessons from agriculture, about cows and how different forms of farming. I think it helps in conversation. It helps in you showing that you know things, beyond what people would expect.
Okay.
So coming back to that, I say that, just be open to learning and different experiences, and it'll really expand how you look at things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since now entrepreneurs deal with the masses,
Yes.
Whether it's a product or a service, you are a wellness advocate.
Yes.
Give us a glimpse of the personal growth and development, inside out.
Yeah. I really think that all of us inside have something that calls for us to do. Like there's some passion we have inside, or a calling that we have, right?
A calling.
Yes, I believe this. I think everybody has specific gifts and talents that they are born with or they learn through their experiences. And when we commit to personal growth and development, which means, whether it's taking a foreign language, whether it's learning about different areas, whether it's taking a business course, whether it's taking, a finance course or something about how to invest, whatever it is, as we develop ourselves, we also need to really remember that we're unique. We're unique beings. Each of us has a gift that God has brought us to share with the world.
Wow.
So I think the intersection of that, as you're growing yourself, developing yourself, learning new things, having new experiences, you need to really just step back and take time to connect with yourself. What do you have to offer? What can you share with the world? What value can you create? How can you give service? That's when I see people are successful in their business pursuits, or, creating something that has impact, because you have your passion, what is inside you, the things that you think about when you're quiet, when nobody is, telling you what to do, where to go. And then they intersect with the things that you're doing to grow yourself.
Okay.
Like personal development, taking courses, networking, meeting different people, yeah, that's what I would say. So the insight, coming from inside out, is very important. It's kind of, you bring your unique talent, you bring your unique gifts, because there's no one else like you. I find a lot of people compare themselves, and comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you compare yourself to somebody else, you're always going to find something that you think they're doing that you're not doing.
I think I should tell Anza fans that comparison is a thief of joy. Yeah. The things we learn here, fantastic. Now, creating a balance. Whether a business is doing good, whether you're making losses, people tend to, being, occupied in one area, they forget in other part. Personal health and, of course, financial health. How do you create that balance, knowing that we just want our businesses to do good?
Okay, I think people, run for financial success, right? And it's okay. money is good. Money is important, right?
Money is good. Money is important.
Is important.
Wisdom.
But just, we don't need to become a slave to the journey to attaining money or wealth. I think the balance is where you also take time for yourself, for your health, because in the end, your health is your wealth. You know, when you've lived, you guys are still young, right? Right now, everybody's young, energetic. You know, you feel like, you know, the world is your oyster. You can do many things. But as you start to get older, you really start to realize how important your health is. Which, you know, with me and health and wellness, it's always been part of my life. You know, even when I was a lawyer, even when I was in finance, even in hospitality. Well, in hospitality, I took a little break. But exercise, that's why exercise is important to me, because you have to kind of find a way to recharge yourself, to, you know, fuel yourself again, get that energy from within. So the balance between health and wealth is critical, I think. You know, if you're running after money and not caring about how you eat, how you move, whether you spend time with your friends and family, whether you sleep, it'll catch up with you. And then you won't even really get to enjoy this money that you've run after if you don't have the health.
So it's crucial to understand that health goes beyond going to the gym and eating well.
Yes.
Family and friends are crucial.
Yes. Relationships matter, you know. How you connect to your community, because if you're giving something, if you're connecting with people, if you're, you know, that also goes to your esteem as a person, and it can help you be better, even in your own business, in your own personal ambitions, when you find that balance. Yeah.
A lawyer. Then you moved to hospitality. How did you identify that business gap? And what are the things that you tell fans of ours how to identify those gaps and when to grab them?
So I came back home about 11 years ago. So I was, you know, I mentioned I went to school in the US, and then I ended up living there for quite a while. And that's where I became a lawyer. I practiced there. And then when I came home, I kind of thought this was a unique opportunity for me to try something different. And honestly, at that point, I really didn't want to go to the Kenya School of Law, which you have to do when you come from out of the country to become a lawyer in Kenya. So I thought, you know, this is about 10, 11 years ago. Why not try something different? I've always been kind of employed, working in law and finance. Here's an opportunity to do something different. And actually, initially, I wanted to go into health and wellness, but I did a detour and I went into the hospitality industry. And this was propelled by a business need in Nakuru. So my first restaurant was in Nakuru, Mokaloka, Nakuru. Those of you in Nakuru probably know about it.
Yes.
So when I was there, I found that, you know, I used to go there pretty often because my partner then was doing some work there. And I realized there was really no place that I thought was a good place to come and eat, that had good ambience, that offered, you know, just something different. Because Nakuru was becoming busier, more people were traveling through it. To me, it looked like it was growing. So I created my first restaurant there, Mokaloka, and it was like it was a labor of love. It was like having a baby, you know, the decor, you know, the setup. But I had never been in the restaurant business, right? Okay. So, and being a lawyer, I thought, how hard can it be? It was hard. It was very intense. It takes a lot.
Okay.
And you know, I'm grateful for the experience because I've learned a lot. It has really flexed my business muscle in a way. So back to your question about business gaps, I think in your life, where you live, where you interact, if you're alert to kind of what's happening, business gaps or opportunities show up. And if you can find those that align with your passions or your personal interests, you won. So I would say, don't try to copy somebody out there. You know, so-and-so is doing this, you know, tech thing. I got to go do that. Or so-and-so is doing this. No, just go back to yourself. Sit back with what skills you have. What do you still want to learn? Like I wasn't, you know, as I said, I'd never run a restaurant. I was willing to learn what it takes to run a restaurant. Was it hard? Yes. Were there failings? Absolutely. But, you know, through the journey, I think when you learn, you gain the grit, And, you know, a lot of very successful business owners have had many businesses that have failed beforehand. It's not like a magic formula. You do one business and then you're like, woohoo, I'm a millionaire. Those are those rare stories we hear about from the US a lot, I think.
One in a million.
Yes. You get the unicorn, you know, you're going to be the millionaire, billionaire. No, in most situations, and I'm not saying that can't happen. What I'm saying is, in your journey, when you start in business, once you've identified what you want to do, or even if you want to, you know, hopefully you've identified, you've learned about yourself, you've gotten support, you have a mentor, you're learning. It's going to be a tough journey. And when you have some failures, it's okay, because failure is the door to success.
Failure is the door to success.
Yes, that's what I believe. Because if you don't have failings or failures, how else are you going to learn and then turn those around and be successful?
When it comes to business, I always remember that the only easy day was yesterday. She says, first of all, identify what you want to do. And of course, if there are failures, learn and move. And that takes a short break. Don't go too far.